Good afternoon. I'm just going to sit back a little bit and welcome to the third episode in this mini-series spotlighting the benefits of yoga for different ailments. So today we're focusing on adrenal fatigue, burnout. What is adrenal fatigue? It is when the adrenal glands, which are positioned just above the kidneys, are essentially worn out. So the adrenal glands are responsible for producing cortisol and adrenaline. When we find ourselves in a state of chronic stress where our body is repeatedly having to create cortisol, and that's via something called the HPA axis, which starts in the hypothalamus in the brain. Won't go into that today, but it's when that HPA axis is continually triggered and not being resolved, so we're not allowing our body time to come back into balance, that our adrenal glands essentially burn out, and they create too much cortisol and then too little cortisol. We need a certain amount of cortisol and adrenaline in our bodies, but if we get to the point where our adrenal glands doesn't work, then our entire bodies go awry. I'm not going to go into the science today. I am doing a talk this coming Friday, the 12th of December, which might be in the past by the time the video goes up, but please do contact me and I can send you more information on that and on this topic specifically, because I went through a burnout in 2018, so I have real life experience of what that feels like and how to hopefully try and prevent it and work through ways to heal ourselves. But today we are looking at very restorative poses, which is why I have a chair and lots of props. But the great thing with restorative yoga is if you don't have these specific props, you can use blankets and cushions and books and basically anything you've got around you. The really, really powerful thing about restorative yoga, the use of props, is it enables our bodies to melt. The moment that the different parts of our bodies are touching a surface and being cushioned and supported, it sends nerve signals to our brain that we can relax and there is no threat. So it's incredibly healing. So the first one, incredibly simple. Sit cross-legged, chair out in front, forehead. You can either have your arms down by your side and just completely relax here. This reminds me of being in chapel when I was little, girl at school, and that wonderful moment when prayers were being read and you had your forehead on your arms and you just wanted to drift back to sleep. This completely relaxes your neck muscles. You have a huge amount of neurons in your forehead, deep pressure points. So by immediately resting the forehead down, messages to the brain, and that's just such an easy one to do. Very simple. Chair again. Another one you can do whilst watching the telly, and you can do this anywhere. So I'm going to place a block under my sit bones, but you can place a blanket here, or you can place nothing. Or you can have, ideally you'd have your legs up against a wall. I have a chair today. And there we have it. Complete rest. So what's going on here is we have our heart above our head, slightly. So we have an inversion. So blood, oxygenated blood, is flushing my head and my brain, cooling it down. The pelvis is being aligned, so it's incredibly relaxing. Most importantly, this pose stimulates the baroreflexes, which are to do with heart pressure in the chest and the neck. And they reduce nerve input into the adrenal glands and thereby slowing the heartbeat, pressure. By doing that, our body is resting. It's very important when I say it's very important, I immediately place pressure on something, but if you can, even if it's a few minutes a day, get your body down into some form of effortless rest, which is any of these poses, where the body is not expected to do anything, to sleep, to move, just to completely drop. This will rest your nervous system. I could stay here all day. In fact, I could stay in all the poses we're going to do all day. So the next one, supported child's pose. Another really yummy. So block or book or blanket between your backs of your hamstrings, backs of your thighs, your calves. Legs open. Bolster, if you have one, or blankets and cushions out in front of you between your legs. And then you can put your forehead here, or you can rest your cheek. And again, just let the body drop. Let the core relax. All muscles of the body just give in. Be careful. Spend a while to do these poses. So that's supported child's pose. And then I think, I don't know which one's my favourite. This is supported bridge. You do need, ideally, one of these belts, because that just makes it particularly amusing. If you don't have a belt, you can tie two ties together, or you can tie, do you call them dressing gown robe ties, tie those together. But if you can have a belt, get a belt. Yoga matters, like they're a tenner, they're just brilliant, and they'll be with you forever. So I actually need, steal this book. I need another block. So you want to have a block or a book or a blanket supporting your spine, a block, a book, a book, a book, a book or a blanket to support your head. Right, that way actually, because that's a bit lower down. That. And then feet in Supta in Baddha Konasana. Belt goes round the bottom of your feet. Like so. And then you can tighten as needed. Here. Like that. Lock underneath both knees. And then, so it's got to be a little bit trickier than the others to get into. But once you're in there, oh, so good. That. And I'll just tighten this a little bit more. There we go. If you're a girl, lady, woman, this is great to do at that time of the month. But whoever you are and wherever you are, this is just the most wonderful, yummy resting of the nervous system. And there you have it. Got my eye pillow here, which I should have been using. If you've got an eye pillow, lavender smelling, you place it on your eyes. Any of the poses we've done, legs up the wall or on the chair or supported bridge, the two you'll be able to use it in. There you go. Any of those poses, if you can do one of them once a day, in the really busy world, noisy world we live in, they're going to protect you, they're going to help you heal, and they're going to stop you from heading down that oh so easy path of adrenal fatigue. Thanks so much for joining me again today, and see you next week.